anything that anyone else could look at to get an edge on the playoffs right now? Like, for example, would you say like maybe the series prices are a little weaker than the straight games? I would assume so. Like, where would people be able to bet that can give them a little edge for MLB right now postseason?
Shop for the best price using Betstamp. Um,
There you go.
yeah. I mean, well, like obviously, like anything good, I'm not gonna say. So,
Well, even
um,
just like for example, the series prices. Do you bet series prices heavily?
sometimes, but almost always, if those are a real edge, it's basically as big of an edge with less vig to bet money lines. Baseball money lines are pretty low vig, so those are almost always better to bet. And definitely, like on futures, like you're almost always better off rolling over series prices. Like the only reason basically ever to bet those futures prices would just be to like flex for your ego, the ticket that you called it October 1, who's going to win, or whenever you bet it.
Fair enough.
Um,
Okay, so who's a good team that you think right now is undervalued versus market? For not maybe actually maybe it's going to give away an edge. We can't even give it. What can you give? How about this? Who's a player that can win World Series MVP right now? If we want to go for a long shot dunk, who's good value? Who's your bet?
long shot.
It doesn't have to be a long
Anything.
shot. Whatever. It could be Ronald Acuna.
You think that just off the top of your
Yeah, I
head, we won't
mean
have you run the numbers,
Acuna
but
or
someone
Albies.
who
Yeah.
you think would be a valuable
Well, yeah. I
bet.
mean, I would
Wait,
I
why
would say
Albies?
because of the um, top end rotation. I'd say Atlanta, and because of home field, which is that's another thing. Back to sorry, I'm fine talking about this because it's really like well understood. I feel like, and just every year I bet more home teams than away teams, and like it's not really a secret. Like obviously, I was willing to put it all in Telegram. Like people can see, I bet like a disproportionate number of home teams. I think because of like some things changing in football, people just like I know this has nothing to do with World Series MVP, but it came to my mind, so whatever. Um, people think like home field must just be disappearing in every sport. I mean, baseball home field has been 54% like every single year since before World One, when planes didn't even exist, since before the Wright brothers. Like I'm not really compelled to believe that like flying first class and staying at the Four Seasons has anything to do with home field. And actually, it's kind of interesting to at least check that off for baseball. I mean, I guess you could argue something about the hand-to-hand combat of like moving another man in football could be related to sleep or rest or something. I don't know, but like knowing that like the quality of travel basically has nothing to do with baseball home field is like probably pretty helpful for that. But anyways, that's why Atlanta needs to be a material favorite over the Dodgers, and uh Always a switch hitter, so we'll have more of a platoon advantage throughout the whole series.